And I am going to go ahead and share my screen. Oh, there's one more person. There we go. Let's let Kara in. All right, we're recording. I'm going to share my screen. We're going to get started because I like to keep these at 30 minutes. So please feel free throughout, though, if you have a question, you can unmute yourself. You can put it in the chat. So this is our Monday meetup. I'm pretty sure, well, let me say, moving into September, we are going to continue these weekly. I think they're still going to be on Mondays. I am waiting to confirm one theater class for Adelaide to make sure I don't have to move these, but we will keep these up weekly in September. We also have a lot of new things happening in September. Now that kids are back in school, we got a lot more free time. We have more things happening. So the Monday meetup next week will actually be on Tuesday because Monday is a holiday, and we will talk about all the exciting things happening in September, not only from corporate. Corporate is having a very awesome incentive. You know, one of those incentives where if you recruit so many people, you get something automatically. Really excited about that. But we have a lot of changes coming to the Wellness Connection too. So tonight's Monday meetup is all about working a Plexus business. So what does it look like? What do I do every day? Because here's the thing, owning your own business is pretty awesome. You get flexibility, you have autonomy, you can make your career align with your own values. Like, you get to run your Plexus business however you want to. You don't have to run it like your upline or like I do, right? You get to meet with like-minded people. I mean, I have never been surrounded by better coworkers than when I work Plexus. Like, I never in any of my previous careers experienced people that were so supportive and just like-minded, especially when the majority of people in this business that you work with are women. I can remember working with women in previous offices, and they're not always so nice. And so you get to work with like-minded people. You get to choose who you work with, right? Like, you can actually specifically go and recruit people that you want to do this business with. You get to choose your coworkers. It's also the only business where you can have greater self-confidence. You can grow personally. You can grow as a leader. And you are constantly on this growth and development track. I can tell you, I never had that in any previous career. I can even remember in my corporate job, we didn't even do goal setting. We like checked the box to turn it into HR because we were like too busy working to do goal setting. And we didn't do any sort of leadership development like we do in Plexus. So it's really, really awesome. So the good news is, when you have a Plexus business, whether you have decided you want to run your business fast, you want to kind of take your time, whether you decided you want to go all the way to the top or make this a full-time income, or maybe you're just wanting to make a couple $100, you are a business owner regardless, right? So the good news is you are your own boss. And the bad news is also you are your own boss. So tonight, as we talk about what that means and what the heck it actually means and looks like to work your Plexus business every day, I want you throughout the call tonight, when you think about your business, I want you to think of it as if it were a brick and mortar store. Okay. I want you to think of your Plexus business as this cute little boutique where you live. And, you know, you have hours and you have a door and you have walls and you have people that come in and out of your store. So I want you to keep these questions in mind throughout tonight. Okay. And it doesn't matter. Again, these questions are relevant whether you want to make $300 a month and that's great, or you want to make $20,000 a month, right? Are your doors to your business always open? Or are they at least open regularly, right? Like most stores, unless you're Walmart or something, you're open like 5 days a week, 8 to 5 or whatever. Are your doors open? Are you inviting people into your store? Do people walk by your storefront and know what your store is about? Are you taking care of your customers that walk through your doors? Are you friendly to them? If they purchase something, are they going to want to come back to your store? Will they tell their friend about your store? Are you investing in your store? right? So if you had a brick and mortar, you would keep your sign up. You'd probably have new hangers. If it was a clothing store, you would probably have some fresh paint, right? So are you investing in your store? We'll talk about that, what that means for a virtual business. And during the day, what the heck are you doing when you're at your store? We're going to kind of get into the nitty gritty of that, because the good news is with a Plexus business, if you treat it like a business, it is going to pay like a business. Many of us are proof of that. Okay. But if you treat it like a hobby, it's only going to pay like a hobby. And if that's what you want to do, that's fine. But I'm assuming since you are investing time on a Monday night, you don't want this to be just a hobby. You want this to be a business. Doesn't mean it's going to be a 40-hour-a-week business, but you want to show up and you want to make some money with your Plexus business, right? So you always have to give full effort in your Plexus business, but you can totally do it on limited part-time hours. The problem becomes when you're your own boss, the problem often becomes that people think they can work it part-time effort, not part-time hours. And you can't. You could do part-time hours, but you always have to have full-time effort in those hours. So I started like a lot of you guys. I was working full-time. I had a 2-hour commute total, 1 hour on each end. My daughter was a baby at home. I had no time, zero, like nada. Or at least I thought, right? So I think people sometimes forget that I worked full-time and I had that commute and I had that baby all the way up to senior Ruby. So if I was able to grow a Plexus business and I wasn't able to be working Plexus at work, I couldn't be on my phone. I couldn't use my work computer, right? Like I was an executive director on a contract. I would have gotten fired if they had found Facebook on my laptop. So, but if I could find the time, so can you. And here's the thing though, it's a myth when people say, oh, I can find more time. Yeah, you actually can't find more time because we all only have 24 hours, right? So it becomes how we prioritize that time. How important is your Plexus business to you and your stakeholders? And when I say stakeholders, I mean your family, the people you live with, people in your household, your partner, your relatives, maybe even your inner circle, your friends, right? But being your CEO is a mindset. It is a decision, it is a why, and it is an action. And we're going to talk about that here in just a second. I think I jumped ahead real quick on the slide, but that's okay. So in the beginning, when you first start this out, while you're trying to rank silver and senior silver and even gold, what your business looks like every day is pretty simple and pretty repetitive. You're going to post on social media. You're going to reach out to people. You're going to follow up with people. And you always want to be growing your network. I mean, that's it. That's kind of the heart and soul of your business. There is no secret sauce, right? There is no silver bullet. Everything else, these calls, events, team message threads, detox sugar challenges, that's all kind of extra. And it helps your business. But if you're not doing the basics of posting on social, keeping your store open, reaching out to people, getting customers in your store, following up with those customers, then all that extra stuff isn't going to make any difference, right? So a lot of times when you're growing your business, you want to have this mindset of being your own boss. And what that means is, one, you have to be a positive person. You cannot let doubt and fear take over, because then it will lead your business. Now, notice I didn't say you can't let doubt and fear creep in, because it is going to creep in. It creeps into me all day still. But you can't let it lead their business, because I hear people say all the time, sometimes they're like, well, you know, like okay, let me give you an example. Corporate comes out with a great incentive and you're like, oh, I don't like that. I don't want that. I don't need it. Or I don't like that flavor. Why couldn't they have given us like something else? Right. But you're like, oh, but I don't tell my team that. My team doesn't know. I'm like, yay, go team. It's an awesome incentive. Well, actually, no. Those words are seeds, right, in your own mindset. So even if you're saying in your head, like you think verbally you're saying something different that's in your head, It doesn't matter. Your brain believes what it hears. Your brain actually doesn't know the difference between something that's actually happened and something that hasn't, right? So if you focus on those fears, you have that negative mindset, that's going to come out in your actions, okay? So you can do all of the right things in your business. You can do all of the actions and messaging people, and you can attend the calls and the trainings, and you can actually get people in challenges, and you can get new customers. But if your internal thoughts and dialogue, if your mindset as a business owner does not match up with the goal you have for your business, you won't be successful. In fact, it will be even harder. Listen, showing up every day as a business owner and going through the same day-to-day motions, right, of talking to people about Plexus and following up, that is something you have to get okay with when you have a positive mindset. It's even harder when you're trying to do that with this mindset that has some fear and doubt in there. So being your own boss, first and foremost, is a business, okay? And you just need to make that decision. You need to make the decision that, oh, I'm going to be successful at this. Oh, I'm going to be senior gold. Oh, I want to do this. Like, you just have to make the decision to be successful, because then you're going to have actions that follow that, right? It's that self-fulfilling prophecy we talk about. If you have this negative mindset, and oftentimes your thoughts are negative, then your business isn't going to grow. It's going to be stagnant, even if you're going through the motions, right? Because so much of that happens inside here. Okay. So you make that decision. And then if you need to change that mindset, you do whatever it takes. You get on, you read books, you get on podcasts, you do daily affirmations. The other thing about being a business owner, and this is something that a lot of people may not understand, but Plexus Corporate is your business. You are Plexus Corporate. Okay. So they are your storefront. So, when things come out and they do things that maybe we're like, why would they do that? Guys, this is your business. So you don't want to have that kind of negative mindset around corporate, because that's actually your business. Okay. So you want to be 100% on board. When you're brand new, you don't have any kind of belief to back that up. I will tell you that you're going to start seeing a lot more of the executives on calls. So if you really want to have that solid belief in corporate, start getting on the monthly kickoff calls that corporate does. Get on the Monday motivations, get on the leaders in action calls. They do those every single month. And the more you are around the executives and you hear from corporate, when they push decisions out to the field, then you will be like, oh yeah, that is the best decision for my business, right? So the mindset is also in everything you do, in team chats, in team threads, in messages to your customers, and how you talk to people, right? Because if you're complaining about things, or you're like, oh my gosh, like I just got my order and they forgot my ProBio. Like, yeah, that happens, right? Like Bob sometimes messes up. But when you say that things around your team, or you put that in a thread, other people see that, your people see that, your customers see that, your team sees that. And if it were a brick and mortar store, that's not something you would do, right? You wouldn't be standing at your register in your brick and mortar store saying something that is kind of has a negative connotation to your customers. So keep that in mind, because you are your own boss with this business. The next thing it is a why. And we talk about this a lot. But you really have to know why the heck you're showing up. Why are you on this call? Why are you spending precious time on a Zoom for this business? Why do you want it? Okay. If time and money were no object, what would your life look like? Okay. I want everyone to take 3 minutes, and I want you to write down why the heck you're doing this. Just brain dump it. Doesn't have to be eloquent. You're not going to share it. But are you paying for your products? You want to pay for your mortgage? You want to be a stay-at-home mom? You want to buy your dream house? You want to pay for college? Right? Like, no why is wrong. You just have to write it down. Because I love what Lauren Thomas says. If you guys don't know Lauren, She is a jewel. She's now 21, I believe. But at the time she ranked emerald. She was the company's youngest jewel. She ranked emerald at 19, which means as a 19-year-old, she was bringing home pretty good sized 4-figure paycheck every single month. Okay. And she said, you could watch my video. I'm going to read this while you guys write down your why. You could watch my video and you could see some systems I use, or that I like to use Google Docs for everything, or, I don't do a whole lot of trainings on Facebook anymore. But what I did is I went and watched every training there's ever been, and I tried all kinds of ideas from all of the Plexus people that had come before me. I found things that worked for me and others that didn't. And the reason it worked is because I didn't give up. There's no secret sauce or overnight success. There's determination and a desire to crush your goals. For me, even now as a jewel, the how is completely unknown, but the why and the end goal is crystal clear. So what she means is, she said, I don't know what I'm doing this month. I don't know if I'm going to do a challenge or a Facebook group or a Zoom. The how doesn't matter to me. Because as long as I know why and what I am going after, I'll do everything in my power to figure out how to make it happen. So that's why that why is so powerful, right? So share your why, figure it out. And whys change. My why for when I started building this business to get out of my commute is different. I just wanted to get out of my commute and find a different job. And then it became, I want to actually not get a different job. I just want this to replace my income from my previous job. Right. And then it becomes like, now I actually would like to be able to make enough to, pay off a house or buy another house or whatever. Right. You got to figure out what your why is. And so then you want to break that down into action. And that's what we're going to talk about. We're going to talk about daily action. But the final step in being your own boss and working this Plexus business is breaking that why down into goals and achievable goals, right? Because all a goal is your dream with a deadline, okay? So you break it down into manageable chunks. If you focus on diamond or emerald, jewel, you're going to get completely overwhelmed. Even if you're brand new and you focus on gold, you might get completely overwhelmed. So break it down into smaller chunks. You want to be a brand new fast start silver? 3 people might sound totally overwhelming. Just go for 1. Okay. And then once you get 1, go for 2. And then once you have 2, go for 3. Right. And then once you rank silver, then go for senior silver. Don't do this big, huge elephant, because you've got to break it down into bite-sized pieces. When I fast started gold, so back in the day, to the only available fast start, you had to do it in your first 30 days. Now our fast start is fast start silver in 30 days. And then in your next 30 days, you can fast start gold. And then in your next 30 days, like, you get to do that for your first 6 months. Back when I started, if you wanted to fast start, you had 30 days and it was gold or higher. That was it. So I didn't tell anybody about Plexus for 2 weeks. And then when I decided to share, I got my mom and my bestie and my college roommate that got me to silver. And then my sponsor was like, why don't you add 17 more people and just fast start gold? And when I saw what that paycheck would be, I was like, well, why not? I'm going to go for it. But when I fast started, I don't remember those 20 people that signed on. I don't remember who they were. But you know what I remember? I remember the 50 people that I messaged and reached out to try to hit that goal, right? So that's what you got to focus on. Focus on those actions, okay? Make dream boards, visualize it. That's something I need to do. I need to do a new dream board with a visual so I see it every single day. The reason I hit all my ranks up to sapphires because I visualized it. I put it up. I was looking at it every day. My people I wanted on my team, I had their names on a list so I'd see it. It's in the universe. It's in my mind every single day. So a big, big piece though of working a Plexus business, and this is where most people falter, is time management. A lot of people, because listen, being your own boss, remember at the beginning, I said, good news is you get to be your own boss. Bad news is you get to be your own boss. Nobody is telling you, hey, it's time to go to work for your Plexus business, or hey, you need to go clock in for the next hour, or hey, here is a task sheet. I need you to knock this out today by close of business. You don't have anybody telling you that. So it's all up to you. So in order to be successful and not get caught in that time management trap, is you want to act like a business owner. You want to schedule your work day, right? You want to get a Plexus shirt to wear. You want to, well, I was going to say get a business card. Nobody does business cards anymore. Make a QR code with your contact information. So if you run into somebody at the grocery store, they can just bring up your QR code and have all your information, right? Walk around with a Plexus water bottle. Play the part of a successful business owner, but you've got to focus your time where it counts. And there's 3 parts to a Plexus business: building your business, so getting new customers; building yourself, so training, learning the business, getting better at the business; and then building a team of leaders. Okay. So this is where most people fail, though, with time management, because they think they're spending all kinds of time on Plexus. They certainly feel like they're on their phone all the time, but then they're not growing or they're not getting new customers. And then they get frustrated and they're like, I'm spending way too much time on this. Like, I'm neglecting my day job. I'm neglecting my family. Plexus, I can't do it. It's too hard. It's not for me. When really it's not a business problem. It's a time management problem. Okay. So these 3 categories, though, how much time you spend depends on where you're at in your business. If you're a brand new person going for silver or senior silver, you're not even going to focus on building your team. You're not building leaders. You're just building a business and doing some training on the side to like educate yourself on the business a little bit, right? But so you want to ask a lot of questions. You want to lean in. You want to be sharing like a crazy person and like educating yourself and asking a million questions. Okay. But if you're going for Ruby or senior Ruby, well, then it's a little different. You're still building your business and recruiting like crazy, and you still are educating yourself and learning, but you are shifting and you are focusing on leadership. You're hosting some of your own events. You're building up leaders. You're reading books. You're having book studies, right? You're helping people map out their goals on your team. Okay. So this is where people fall. They're like, okay, that's great, Amy, build my business for myself. But listen, I've got 30 minutes a day. That's all I can commit right now to my Plexus business. What the heck am I supposed to do? Well, here you go. You guys have seen this before. This is a daily action plan. You can call it a winning day. You can call it a DMO, which is a daily method of operation. It doesn't matter what you call it, but it's things you have to do as a business owner to make money. Okay. As much as I love our team threads, being in the team thread is not making us money. Scrolling Facebook, scrolling Instagram, not making us money. Being on team calls, not making us money. Okay. All those things come after you do the daily action. Okay. So one thing I love about this daily action sheet, it does start out with gratitude. So what are 3 things you're grateful for? And this is really important when you're a business owner, because it's really easy for us to get sucked into the things we're not doing, or the things we're lacking, or the things we failed, or the people who've quit, or the people who said no. So starting your daily business work, when you walk into your store, you unlock your business, right, your door, and you walk into your Plexus brick and mortar store and you open for the day. What are 3 things you're grateful for? Then you've got to be on social media every day. You got to post on your wall, whether it's Facebook or Instagram. You got to put stuff in your stories to keep people engaged. And I don't mean Plexus. You just have to be open for business, right? Your social media is your storefront. That is where, remember, I asked the question at the beginning, do people who walk by my store know what it's about? That's your social media. Are you sharing things that add value? Are you sharing about Plexus? Are you sharing about gut health? Are you sharing about anything else you love? I don't care if it's dogs or wine or whatever you love. Like Nicole shares great recipes. She loves to cook. She loves to get her kiddo involved in cooking. And now I notice even John is sharing about how important it is for kids to get their hands dirty, so to speak, and know how to cook a meal and create a meal. So those are even things that come to working your Plexus business. What does your social media look like? Engage and be social on social media, right? That's part of working your business. Wish people happy birthday. Instead of liking somebody's picture or just liking somebody's post, actually comment, like actually take the time to be social. And then you have to build relationships on social media. And this is where people can get stuck in the scroll. So as a business owner, you got to set a timer. I've got this super cute little square timer. This one I got in a free Tribe box. It was a box, it's a box for network marketers. You can buy these on Amazon, like literally set a timer for, 15 minutes and comment and on posts of non-Plexus people you haven't seen, people you actually want to build a relationship with. Okay. And then you need to constantly be growing your network. That is also something that's going to help you make money. You have to always be growing your network. To be successful in this business, you can't just sell to family and friends. That's really not what we do. You're constantly growing your network, not with the goal of getting everyone on Plexus. The goal is actually to grow your network and just meet new people and have new people in your circle and make new acquaintances and reach out to different people. But that's also then how you grow your Plexus business, right? I can remember when I started, if somebody had asked me if I was a people person, I would have told them no. I would have been like, no, I don't do people. Like, I go to the nail salon, I put my head down, I read my magazine. I don't want nobody to talk to me. I don't talk to people when I sit on an airplane. I don't talk to strangers anywhere. Like, I'm friendly. Like, I'll hold the door and I'll say hi and smile, but I'm not looking to make friends. Well, then I realized that's not going to work if I want to be a successful Plexus business owner. I actually have to put my head up at the nail salon and talk to people and meet people. And, now that I've been doing that for several years, not all those people buy Plexus, but my life is so much fuller and richer because of the people I am talking to and connecting with, even if the connection is only in that moment, even if it's an Uber driver or somebody I remember I met a woman once at a airport bar. And because I was like, I got to learn to talk to people because I want to grow my network, I just started chatting with her. And she was the most interesting person. Now, we never connected after that, but my life is richer from some of the things she shared, the stories she told, and just meeting her, right? So that's part of your daily action. You're a business owner, you have to get in your virtual office. So many people are like, oh gosh, yeah, I never log into that thing. It scares me. Well, listen, you're not going to be successful in your Plexus business. It'd be like, again, having a brick and mortar store and you never open the cash register or you never open your inventory book to see how many things you sold versus how many you bought, right? You have to check every day your people who are ordering. Has a credit card declined? Check your perk report. Is somebody going to lose their perks because they shut their order off? Is somebody's order delayed, right? You've got to get in your virtual office every day. And then you have to communicate to grow your business. You have to reach out to 3 new people. I don't mean cold messages, but you need to be talking to 3 new people every day. You need to follow up with 2 people every day. And you need to check in with current customers every single day. And then you also want to train yourself, okay? Whether it's a podcast, you're on this, but that comes last, okay? A lot of times people get their time management of running a business skewed because they don't set a timer for Facebook relationship building. So the next thing they know, an hour's gone by, they've done nothing but scroll. And then later they're like, oh my gosh, like I spent an hour today on my phone and nobody's buying Plexus from me, right? Or, oh my gosh, I'm spending so much time in the evenings on these calls, but like nobody's buying Plexus. So when you do your daily work, you want to make sure you're prioritizing it to these things that actually will move your business forward, okay? The other thing that comes with being a business owner that is so easy to do, I think many of us who've been working Plexus for more than a few years have probably experienced this at some point, is burnout and overwhelm. Okay, this can happen at any rate. Now, when you're a brand new ambassador, it is going to feel like you're drinking from a water hose because Like there's just so much information when you're brand new. That's not the kind of overwhelm I mean. I mean overwhelm thinking that there is so much work that you need to do that you just don't have time to do it. Okay. Because when you're new, just like any new job, you feel like you're drinking from a fire hose. There's new skills, there's new words, there's new comfort zones, there's new acronyms, there's new people, there's new vulnerabilities. What I mean is overwhelm in the day-to-day work. Okay. So time blocking is super important, but sticking to that time block. What I found in my experience is that people time block and they say, okay, I'm only going to work Plexus, let's say from 3 to 4 o'clock. Well, and they tell their families too. They tell like, hey, I'm only working it from 3 to 4. Well, at 5:30, they're still picking their phone up, or they've committed to get on a Zoom or something. And then because they didn't stick to their boundaries, they then blame Plexus and their business for spending too much time on it. So clock into work each day, time block when you're going to work. You don't have to tell anybody. I don't tell people my schedule because it's not regular. It's not like a brick and mortar. I'm not working every day 9 to 5. But hold yourself accountable. And if you say, I'm not picking my phone up on Tuesdays from 6 to 8, don't pick your phone up on Tuesdays from 6 to 8, right? Stick to that DMO, that daily method of operation. That's just a fancy way of saying have a work plan. So when you sit down in your clock in, you know what the heck you're doing. Who do I need to follow up with? What post am I making? Who do I need to reach out to? Who are my current people I need to check on, right? So stick to that. Because if not, then we sit down and we get overwhelmed. We get sucked into social media. We get sucked into Messenger. And the next thing we know, we feel completely unproductive. Okay. The other thing you want to do, and I am a huge believer in these, we do these all the time. You want to have stakeholder meetings, family meetings, whoever your stakeholders are, roommates, spouses, partners, family, kids, whoever it is, you got to have these meetings. And what I mean by that is if you want to be successful at this business, you're going to need time to work this business. Okay. And if you don't verbalize that with these people, they're going to get really upset when you're on your phone all the time, is what they're going to perceive. Right. So I sit down with Steve and Adelaide and say like, okay, this, in fact, we did it just not long ago because we're coming into a new season. Summer's over. School's back in, and I want to kick my Plexus business up for the next 90 days going into the holiday season. So I sat down with them and I told them what I'm looking to need for my business, right? I'm doing Monday night calls. I'm going to start doing a Wellness Wednesday kind of science education live every Wednesday night. I want to do that. And I want to do some other things that aren't during the day when they're gone that could impact them, right? But then what's super important is I ask them what they need me for. What do they need me for? Adelaide is at the age, she still wants me to do bedtime. Okay. She wants me there to like hang out with her. We have like girl talk before bed. That's a non-negotiable. If I didn't have that communication with her and I didn't know that, and Amanda is like, hey, Amy, can you host a Zoom on Wednesday night at 9 o'clock? And I'd be like, yeah. Well, then that's going to cause strife in my home. They're going to blame my Plexus business because I wasn't there. And Adelaide's going to be like, I wanted you, every time I wanted you in bed, you're not. You're always on your phone, or you're always working Plexus, or you're always in your office. So make sure you're having those discussions. Okay. And, oftentimes I hear people say, and I'll check the chat here in a minute, I can't see it. I hear people say like, hey, Amy, that's great. Your husband and your family are supportive. Mine is not. Well, you're still doing this Plexus business. You can still communicate that to them, right? And maybe you work it when they're not there or during the day or whatever that looks like, but you are still showing up. You still want this to be successful. So their support or not, you can still verbalize and communicate to them what you are doing, right? Like, I am doing this. You don't have to support it, but just a heads up, every day from 5 to 5:30, I'm going to be on my phone checking in with my customers and getting new customers, or whatever that looks like. Okay. Time block and schedule, hold yourself to it, discipline and boundaries. This is the big one. This is the one that people do all of the others, but they're not disciplined. We don't show up and do daily work. We get bored. We're like, oh man, okay, you gotta get okay with the boring, right? You gotta get okay with doing the same thing every single day, talking about Plexus, reaching out, following up, posting, okay? That we have to do no matter what. I've been doing that for 8 years now. But what I do is, you use your personality and you find the stuff you love to energize you. I love doing trainings. I love doing Zoom calls. That's why I'm adding one on Wednesday night. It fills my bucket. I love it. You got to find what fills your bucket to keep you energized and excited for the monotony, but you got to be disciplined in that monotony. And then you got to have those boundaries. And like I said, if you told your people or yourself, I'm not answering, right? There are no emergencies in Plexus. We are not Homeland Security. Like, we're not anything. Like, you do not have to answer somebody's message tonight who wants to buy a reset. You can answer them tomorrow if you told yourself that after the team call, I am putting my phone down. Okay. And then a big part of being your own boss and having a successful Plexus business is stopping the head trash. Successful people don't doubt themselves. They don't self-pity. They don't hang out in the valley of despair. You heard what Lauren Thomas said. She said, I didn't know how I was going to do it, but I didn't care. What did she say? I just had the determination and a desire to crush that goal. And that the how will come, right? The how will come. If you have that unfettered determination and desire, we have so many resources between our team and corporate. The how is there. You just can't see it. It's like you can't see the forest for the trees because you're involved in the head trash. You're doubting yourself. You're afraid to reach out to people, right? Excuse me. It's all that head trash. So that is what running and having a successful Plexus business looks like. And the cool thing about it is you can do it, especially in the beginning. You see me now sitting here in this home office. That is not how I built my Plexus business. Okay. I built my Plexus business on the couch on my phone while Steve was giving Adelaide a bath, or on my laptop, like in our spare office, but not like a Plexus office. Or I build it now, I do some work in Carline, right? Or you build it. So you can have that flexibility that we all want. You just can't do it at part-time effort. So that is our call for tonight. I am going to check the chat really quickly. Oh, I love it. I love it. Yeah, paying for college. Sorry, guys, my dogs are barking. Hey, Amy, I hope I didn't scare you away. I just saw Amy's a new sharer. I will tell you guys one thing I'm really excited about. I'm kind of changing the format of these weekly calls going forward. They're going to be divided into 2 or 3 topics, and we're always going to end with a product training. So we're going to have business. We're probably going to have like a testimony piece in there, and then we're going to have a quick little product training. So I'm really excited about that. And Caitlin, you are right. I'm glad you mentioned keeping your shoes on. It keeps you to task. I will tell you, especially for those of us that are home, if you're working this Plexus business and you get up and you get dressed and you go to work, this isn't going to really necessarily, oh, did I stop share? I did. And you guys are still looking at my screen. Sorry. This may not apply to you as much, but if you're someone who is doing this business and you're home, you will be 1,000% more productive if you get up and get dressed and get ready. Like, I really, for a while, got into I'm a business owner. I work from my phone. I can wear pajamas all day if I want to. That's fun, right? Like, it is kind of nice that I can come in here in leggings and PJs or whatever and work my business. However, doing that on the regular is not good for your productivity. So it goes with what Caitlin said about keeping your shoes on, because when you take your shoes off, it signals to your brain that it's like cozy time to like kick off the walking shoes. Same with getting up in the morning and getting dressed and getting ready. You don't have to have on dress clothes, but like actually getting up and getting ready, putting on, for me, it's putting on some earrings, putting on some mascara, drying my hair, putting on a real bra, making my bed, all of that in the morning, I am 1,000% more productive in my Plexus business throughout the day. Me walking in the morning, I've noticed, has also made me 1,000% more productive throughout the day. So little things like that. It's really, nice that we can do this however we want, and we can work our business sitting on the couch with like our fuzzy blanket and our slippers. But you got to think, you are a business owner, right? That's not how you want to work your business most of the time. Every once in a while, great. But you really want to carve out a space that is for you. Get a folder. Like, I'm a paper person. I'm not an electronic person. If you guys know me by my planner, get a folder. I just started this. Like, this is for all my new customers, just because I need names written down, and it's all my potentials. They're in this nice little folder. It's right here on my desk. When I sit down to follow up, I grab my folder, and I don't have to scroll through Messenger looking at, oh my gosh, who am I talking to? Or I don't have to like try to remember. It's all right there. So thank you guys for being on. I'm super excited for September. We've got a lot of awesome things coming, changing the format of this a little bit. But also through the end of the month, we only have 2 days left in the month. We're doing that 6-day sugar detox. No purchase required, but you guys can start sharing about that and getting potentials who want to learn about Plexus, learn about sugar cravings, learn about the reset into the wellness experience. Amy Morton is hosting that. For those who are new, she's the personal trainer on the team. Nicole Odermatt is hosting it with us. She also is a Ruby on the team. She's fabulous. So we're really excited. And I think it's just going to be a great fall. Thank you guys for being on. Bye, guys.